What up, what up, what up? Dímelo, mi gente. Que lo que? You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo. Shine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Maldito Borracho. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, God bless each and every one of y'all. It's been a slow week in the sport of boxing. Yeah, man, it's been a slow week, but has been an epic year, though. Epic year. 2023 has been epic. Still people talking about how Bud Crawford whoop Errol Spence behind, pause, beat him from pillar to mother effing post. People still talking about that. Alicia Baumgartner tested positive for steroids. You know what, man? Maybe because she look good, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a little biased on that one. Y'all know I like to break things down unbiased, logically, objectively. I'm going to say the truth. If Alicia Baumgartner said, no, ain't no, hey, Punch, I ain't do no steroids. Don't you believe me? Don't you believe me? And that she want to take me to Dubai like Errol Spence, wifey want to take me to Dubai. She'd be like, Punch, if you don't believe me, I won't take you to Dubai, baby. Do you want to go to Dubai, baby? Yeah, Alicia, I believe you. You ain't do no steroids. You ain't do nothing of that, baby. I believe in you. Alicia, Baumgartner, I believe everything she wanted. She said she ain't use steroids. Goddamn, she ain't use no steroids, damn it. Huh? I ain't gonna give the same pass. I'm sorry, I'm gonna give a pass. I ain't gonna give the same pass to no damn baby Miller, Gerald Miller, whatever his name is, popping dirty like for a decade. I ain't gonna give no pass to Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give him. Still can't give me no B sample. I did give a pass to Conor Ben though. If y'all remember, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a good, you know what I'm saying? Alicia Baumgartner, she ain't do nothing, y'all. She ain't do nothing. She ain't do nada. It's kind of fishy around here. Huh? They trying to frame my baby. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, but of course, and people still talking about that. People talking about the Inoue beating Stephen Fulton from pillar to post. People's giving a lot of credit to PBC, and shout out to Al Haymon and Showtime, Steven Espinoza, Tom Brown, TGB for delivering great product, great content to the boxing community. Again, it's been an epic year. Of course, it's all started with Davis Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. And speaking of Davis Benavidez, El Mexican Monster, La Bandera Roja, the Mexican Monster, the Ecuadorian Monster, the Dominican Monster. Oh, yeah, he's Dominican, goddammit. You heard what his father said when I was interviewing his father out there with Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. And he said that he's Mexican from the father side, and his mother is half Ecuadorian, half Dominican. So that's why I be like, hey, yo, the Mexican Monster, the Ecuadorian Monster, and the Dominican Monster. Que lo que, dime lo que. Problem here? You have problem that he's Dominican también. It's because he's in the West Coast. And you know, there's no real Dominicans out there in the West Coast, but I'm saying like this, if David Benavidez was raised and born in the East Coast, he'll be identifying himself with Dominican. Que lo que, dímelo, dame arroz con habichuela o arroz con guandule, con pollo guisado, o por la mañana, he like plátano, you know what I'm saying? Plátano, mangú con los tres golpes. You know what mangú con los tres golpes, my ladies and gentlemen? It's mangú, platin, smashy, and then you get el queso, fried queso, tropical queso. Beautiful, baby. Tasty, very, very goody. And then a sausage, salchichón. Not my sausage, a salchichón de la bodega, my friend. And then huevo. Not my huevo, but a huevo de cocinar. You know what I'm saying? The chicken. You crack an egg, boom, you fry it, and then you add a little pink onion. Ay, mi madre. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, damn, I'm getting hungry right now, y'all. But, David Benavidez started off with Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant also finished it off, too. You know, Caleb Plant I'm going to tell you like this. Caleb Plant, he rang some bells. And I ain't even talking about the loss with David Benavidez, but he smacked the ish out of Charlo. Not Jermell Charlo, the 160-pounder. The one that got the baby mama drama and stuff like that. The one that hasn't been in the ring for quite some time. And you know what? It's unfortunate, man. I hope he's back. Oh, and he's back with his baby mama. Damn it, y'all. I'm going to tell you like this, folks. There's a lot of ish to talk about. This is going to be a long episode because there's a lot of ish to talk about. There's a lot of layers that we need to peel off. Okay, so let's start it off with the David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. Epic year, you know what I'm saying? Start off with them. Oh, but before that, we got to give credit to the Australian guy, you know what I'm saying? The kangaroo dude. Foster for beer. We're talking about Tszyu. Tszyu defeated Tony Harrison, the former junior middleweight champion of the world. Out there in Australia. epic performance in front of millions, no, not thousands of people out there. Did what George Kambosos couldn't do out there. They gave George Kambosos a stadium and he put everybody to sleep. Well, Haney put everybody to sleep. But you understand what I'm trying to say. But anyway, Tszyu did a good job. Good impressive performance versus Tony Harrison. David Benavidez won a whole 12 rounds versus Caleb Plant. Of course, a lot of people was talking about, damn, David Benavidez is good, but they ain't look like a monster performance because Canelo Alvarez beat Caleb Plant and stopped Caleb Plant. And we thought that David Benavidez was going to stop Caleb Plant because a lot of people been shaming Canelo Alvarez for David Benavidez and stuff like that. That he's the monster. He's the most threatening opposition for Canelo Alvarez. And I didn't think that he really put a stamp on, yo, Canelo got to watch out for David Benavidez. Nah. But he showed that he got stamina. Showed that he could keep up the pace, you know what I'm saying? Dictate the pace as well. You know, he did a good job. He did a good job, but not the monster type of job. But in all reality, he did a good job, right? And then we move over to one of the biggest and the most lucrative fight in the sport of boxing. Not the biggest, but the most lucrative fight in the sport of boxing. That was Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Minus all the stipulation and stuff like that Ryan Garcia had to endure by team Gervonta Davis. I don't know why they put a stipulation on Ryan Garcia. It's not like he ever was a world champion and such, but they felt threatened by Ryan Garcia that they needed a stipulation. Later on, we found out that they had a stipulation over Mario Barrios at 140. What the hell is going on with Gervonta Davis with these stipulations? Don't you have your team don't have all the confidence in you that you don't need to go into a fight by giving somebody else a stipulation, rehydration clause, catchway, or whatever? Can't you just fight somebody fair and square? You are your best versus their best. And I think that's the problem with Gervonta Davis. And I'm a huge fan of Gervonta Davis' skills and talent. Been following Gervonta Davis since the amateurs. But can't you just fight somebody at their best? Why are you trying to always win the fight before the fight, damn it? Come on, Tanky. Yeah, Tanky is the guy when he's wearing the purse. Tank is when, you know what I'm saying, he's not wearing the purse. Tanky is when he's wearing the purse. I hope everything went well out there in the county jail. I hope Bubba ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't violate nobody up in there. You feel me, Tank? But anyway, shout out to Gervonta Davis, you know what I'm saying? You know, also he had little baby mama drama. And Tiffany Lopez had baby. God damn, everybody have a baby mama drama around here, man. Can't you just, man, take care of the woman? Can't you put your foot there? God damn it. Don't you put your foot there? Motherfuckers always letting these girls and shit like that F y'all mind up, F y'all life up, F y'all money up. Damn. Do it like Derek Jeter, bro. Marry or get really serious with a chick after your career. Man, follow the damn blueprint. I want these guys to follow the damn blueprint. There's a lot of athletes, lucrative athletes, high invested athletes that has done the right thing, and you know what I'm saying? With the man, just F all these chicks, man. You got money, you're a celebrity, man. You young, man. Just pipe it all down, and then. When after the career like Derek Jeter, then he settled down. Then he had a kid. Relax, y'all. Because y'all get new money, that doesn't mean you need a new wifey. You know what I'm saying? Learn from Bud Crawford, man. Bud Crawford he ain't get new money in a new shorty. He's got new money with the same shorty. You know what I'm saying? The same shorty. Shout out to Mrs. Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? 7 kids and stuff like that. Honorable man, honorable father. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Y'all already know that fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. Shout out to all the fighters that do take care of the kids. But you understand what I'm trying to say, man. Chill with the woman, all right? Chill with the woman, man. Be single out there, man. Pipe on them shorties, right? Anyway, it's a Christian show. Sorry, Lord. But Gervonta Davis, you already know, man. What Ryan Garcia is behind, and Ryan Garcia is now in the 140-pound division, and probably there might be a fight. They're talking. Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez is talking, y'all. Teams are talking. Bob Arum stated last week that he is talking to Oscar De La Hoya, the 6th Division World Champion, Golden Boy promotion, the Golden Boy himself, as a possible big fight. And that would be a good fight. Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan Garcia. Maybe the Heisman night, Madison Square Garden, huge. Or maybe they could do it out there in Las Vegas on February 10th. You already know the Super Bowl, the NFL Super Bowl, the biggest sporting event in America. going to be in February 11th. Now, I said this before, man. You put Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, all them sponsor, all them 500 Fortune companies, Hollywood, celebrity, everybody, all the money's going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? It's a great opportunity to have everybody already out there in Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas already. Everybody going to be gambling. Everybody going to be Super Bowl ready. But for the pre-Super Bowl, Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez. Hey, yo, if ESPN, Disney, Top Rank don't capitalize and put in Teofimo Lopez, February 10th, yo, I am telling you, he's already a star. But everybody's going to, like, dial in to that. And then maybe if he does a wonderful job, the winner, guess what? They're going to show him off in the Super Bowl. This is a major opportunity for Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia. Of course, I got Teofimo Lopez beating Ryan Garcia in 140. I already know the Teofimo Lopez looked the show. We're going to be talking about the Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. Not saying that Ryan Garcia is not going to give him a run for his money, but we got to see how he's going to be with Derrick James. Derrick James is his new trainer. But following after the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, of course, we had the Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. Controversial decision for a lot of people. A lot of people felt that Lomachenko won, but it was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a close fight. So it is what it is, man. Did Vasily Lomachenko took it away from the champion? Because that's a myth. I don't really believe in the myth, like you got to take it away from the champion or the championship rounds. I don't believe in that myth. I don't know, probably networks or commentators have drilled that into the viewers' minds that championship rounds are scored different from the first 9 rounds. It's not. You know what I'm saying? The way they scored the 12th round is the same way they scored the first round. But maybe they can run it back, or maybe they don't. Y'all already know Devin Haney gonna be moving up to fight Regis Prograis, or there's some new news. Matter of fact, we're gonna get to that point. Let me give you the rundown of 2023 right quick, up to this part. So of course, then after that, we got Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. A lot of people wrote Teofimo Lopez off, except your boy, Mr. Moonshine. I told you, ain't nothing wrong outside of what he's going through personal. It's not a distraction. What he does in the ring or he does in camp. You know what I'm saying? That's his safe haven. The ring is second nature to him. Everything probably outside is a growing pain, but in the ring, man, that man is as serious as much dangerous as any fighter out there. Elite on the pound for pound list, of course. Teofimo Lopez, my top 5 pound for pound. He's number 5. On my pound for pound, I do got Terence Crawford, then Naoya Inoue, then Alexander Usyk, then Canelo Alvarez, and then Teofimo Lopez, and then Jermell, Iron Man Charlo. They're going to be facing Canelo Alvarez. We're going to be talking about that a little bit. Let me just do the rundown. We're going to be talking about that. Let me do the rundown. So after the Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, before that, we already heard what happened with the Rolly Romero and stuff like that. Little robbery. I don't like it the Tony Weeks. I don't like it the Buche. Robbery in the sport of boxing. But whatever. But of course, man, there was a good win for Teofimo Lopez, man. Proving the haters wrong. Proving the supporters right. Proving that God make no mistakes. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez, the commander-in-chief, the leader of this generation, doing his thing. Can't wait to see him back in the ring. Get a little drink of water. And also, follow up with that. Before that, we did have Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder, aka Pelagato. And a lot of people wanted to argue with me. You know, a lot of people is calling me a little flip-flopper. People, my haters is calling Punch Run Boxing, a guy that's been promoting, praising Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, the cash cow of the sport of boxing. The Canelo Alvarez, the 4th Division World Champion, super middleweight undisputed. Canelo Alvarez, a.k.a. King Nelo, a.k.a. Cartelo, a.k.a. Cash Nelo, a.k.a. Payday, a.k.a. get the out of here, man. Because I'm going to have a little bit of critique of Canelo Alvarez. Oh, yo, Punch, you hating on Canelo. Oh, yo, Punch, is who's paying you to say that against Canelo Alvarez? God damn, man, I can't critique Canelo Alvarez just a little bit. Just a little bit. Even though I'm breaking it down unbiasedly, logically, objectively, like I always say. Any little thing I say about Canelo Alvarez. It was like Canelo Alvarez, hey, yo, you got something in your teeth and stuff like that. You got beans. You got black beans stuck in your teeth. Yo, why you hating Canelo Alvarez? Why you saying it like that? Why you just can't send him an email and tell him that in that picture he should... You can't even say nothing about Canelo Alvarez in this community. Goddamn. Sheesh. Everybody can't the titty attack. Everybody having their period. Golly. Yo, I thought yo creía que tú eras latino. ¿Y qué? Yo no puedo decir nada a ese tigre. Ese tigre, his stamina is not very, very good. What happened? You crazy? What happened? No, not really real. I'm trying to be really real around here. That's the only thing I can say about Canelo Alvarez right now. I said he's declining a little bit. Yo, he's not declining. He was injured. Oh, okay. Excuses. I can understand if it was one fight. I can understand if it was before a fight. But he ain't look special versus Triple G, the trilogy. He didn't look special. And sure damn, he didn't look special versus John Ryder because John Ryder is not even supposed to be in this league. John Ryder ain't even supposed to be in that ring versus Canelo Alvarez, the 4th Division World Champion, super middleweight undisputed. He's not supposed to Canelo Alvarez, the King Nello. They gonna survive 12 rounds. John Ryder being beaten up from pillar to post and knocked out and stuff like that and put down. Hasn't won no significant fight. But John Ryder deserved the fight because he was a mandatory. He ain't got no mandatory, man. Go to the WBO website. WBO always put it out there. Public records. They put every damn mandatory they order. They ain't never ordered that fight. That was a hand-picked fight. Oh, y'all playing like y'all dumb. Canelo Alvarez picked John Ryder. Somebody gonna have a style that's standing right in front of him to go to Mexico and give an epic performance. Guess what? That performance, man, the more the performance go, people gonna question if he's the best Mexican. Because I told you it's not only one. I'm not saying that it was a bad performance. What I'm saying is not special Canelo Alvarez performance. And looking at the wear and tear, been in boxing since he was 15 as a professional. 50 plus fights mean 50 plus camps. 50 plus camps means how many goddamn sparring partners he had to run through. A lot of wear and tear. And let's be real, Canelo Alvarez got nothing to prove. But shit, there's a lot of money on the table. And there's several fighters right now in the sport of boxing where I know they're not hungry for the game. I know they're not hungry to fight. But now they're in the stage where there's a lot of money on the table and they can't pass that. They've been working their whole life. It's just that they're not hungry. But then there's a lot of food on the table. You feel me? They're not hungry, but there's a lot of food on the table. And what you going to do? You going to take it to go home? You going to wrap it up? Or you going to eat it right there and get food? That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening to Errol Spence. That's happening to Keith Von Thurman, Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder. A lot of these guys at the PBC and stuff like that you could tell they're not hungry outside of Jermell Charlo. He's a whole different type of beast. And we're going to be talking about that, you know what I'm saying, just a bit. But all these guys, they're not really hungry to fight. It's just now there's a lot of money on the table. More money than when they was hungry. And that's the issue right now. They can't find the killer instinct. You know what I'm saying? But of course, then Canelo Alvarez beat John Ryder. We moved on, and then we got the fight that the fight fans been asking for. We got Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. Before he was a big fish, and now Errol Spence is a tuna fish. Oh yeah, man. I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. And don't tell me that you thought that it was gonna be that easy too. Whether you was a hater, a supporter, or a fan, if you was in a neutral side, didn't pick no side, and I ain't had no horse in the race, to be honest. I ain't had no horse in the race, but I just say skill pay the bills, and looking at the bag of Bud Crawford, look at the bag of Errol Spence, and look at how, and I said it, how many times I said it, look at the unpredictability of Bud Crawford, the awkwardness of Bud Crawford, the way that he's seasoned, you know what I'm saying? The way he stays in the gym, he's a gym rat. You feel me? He's knocking everybody out, getting better and stuff like that. Right? I said his bag is just bigger than Errol Spence. It's just deeper. And Errol Spence throws the same jab. Good jab, but throws the same jab, same speed. Keep his head on line. Can't fight backwards and stuff like that. Or not effective going backwards. He need to sit down on his punches. He's not this one knockout artist. Minus the Leonard Bundu performance. But he's not this one shot hit done hit a quitter. You know what I'm saying? He's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I knew Bud Crawford was going to win, but I didn't know that Bud Crawford was going to be like that. I ain't know that Bud Crawford's gonna beat Errol Spence from pillar to post with no answer. Nah, we ain't nobody know that. Only the people in the community, or let's say the YouTube boxing community on Twitter that hated Errol Spence because they hated some of the channels that he's the poster boy of, or they hate the PBC, whatever. There's a lot of people that hate PBC. I love PBC because look at 2023. You got to give him credit. You got to give him credit. Yeah. Al Haymon. Shout out to Al Haymon, Al Haymon, okay? If you don't like it, you don't like it boxing, okay? Ese hombre está haciendo lo que tenía que hacer para el boxeo. He had to do what he had to do, and he's doing it good, okay? You have problem with him, you have problem with boxing, okay? You have problem with Al Haymon, you have problem with el boxeo. Porque él está haciendo lo que tiene que hacer. He's doing what he has to do. I'm translator. I am better than the translator, Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, you see Canelo Alvarez the other day. You don't need no translator. Canelo Alvarez told this translator, mira, I don't need you anymore. What happened, Canelo? But let me do the translator. Okay, Canelo Alvarez, but I don't need you anymore. That's it. I know English very, very good. That's it. I don't need you. But Canelo Alvarez, but let me do it. Okay, I don't need you, coño. Vete de aquí, señor. Get the fuck out of here like I told Demetrius Andrade. I don't need you anymore. Translator. Hey, security, get the hell out of here. Translator. I know me English. I know English now, my friend. I don't need you. I bought hooked up on phonics. Remember? I watched Channel 13, PBC. Huh? With Reading Rainbow, the guy from Star Trek. I don't need you. I have Carmen Sandiego. Remember that? Get the Carmen Sandiego. I know in English right now. Matter of fact, Jermell Charlo. He's a very good fighter. I'm a very good fighter. He's going to be very, very good. And that's it. All right. Get the fuck out of here. But translator be like, but get translator, get the hell out of here, que tú no sabes nada. Sí, I know English, I know English. What happened? You not proud of me? That I don't need you anymore? You are not proud of me that I don't need you anymore. You just say want the money. Translator want payday. Get the hell, no more payday for you. I know English, my friend. Yeah. Oh. But shout out to Canelo Alvarez, man. He getting a lot of money, getting a lot of endorsement, man. Canelo Alvarez and the wife. Mira, tú tienes que aprender a hablar inglés porque tú sabes, hay mucho dinero para hacer. Aprendes el inglés. So you could do commercials. You know, you could work in a movie. Canelo Alvarez thought that he was going to be playing a big part in Creed 3. Canelo Alvarez, they said, Michael B. Jordan said, hey, yo, I got you, my brother, on Creed 3. Canelo Alvarez said, see me. But Michael B. Jordan said, you know what I'm saying, I got a part for you. Oh, shit. Canelo Alvarez went back home and said, mami, tengo que aprender a hablar inglés. Porque Michael B. Jordan me está dando un parte para estar en el movie con él, con Creed 3. Yo voy a hacer, que voy a hacer que le va a ganar a él. Como Drago, como Mr. T. Canelo Alvarez for the whole year. Maybe that's why he hasn't looked special in the ring, because he was practicing his English so good, so you know what I'm saying, so he could get this part in Creed 3 that he thought he was gonna have a major part. Man, Canelo Alvarez, they gave Canelo Alvarez 5 seconds. He said, man, here's a picture. Clink, that's it. Diablo, Michael B. Jordan, tú tenías Canelo Alvarez, the king of boxeo, a.k.a. King Nalo, a.k.a. Cartelo, a.k.a. Cash Nalo, a.k.a. Payday, a.k.a. get the fuck out of here, man. You give him that 5-second part, and you give what, Jose Benavidez Jr. a major part? As a heavyweight? Come on, Michael B. Jordan. Ese tipo no ha hecho nada, my friend. Si era de Benavidez, por ese tigre no hay nada. Ese tigre no ha hecho nada en boxeo. At least give it to Danny Garcia. That Danny Garcia whoop Jose Benavidez. Tú le vas a dar, hey, yo, Michael B. Jordan, you gonna give Jose Benavidez out of everybody. And you got Canelo Alvarez doing a cameo. And even Bud Crawford. You gave him a little sparring. You gave Bud Crawford, the pound-for-pound fighter in the sport of boxing. You gave Canelo Alvarez a 5-second cameo. And you got Jose Benavidez Jr. and give him the good part. Shit, man. Damn, come on, Michael. He dropped the ball right there. You know why he dropped the ball right there? Because how can you... Because, see, we know boxing, right? And it's hard when you actually put boxing. See, that's the difference between Rocky That's the difference between Rocky, and that's the difference between Michael B. Jordan Creed. See, you actually put real fighters, right? Okay, the first fight, but Rocky had to do something with it. Remember, Rocky Balboa, he put Tony Bellew. You know what I'm saying? So Tony Bellew is probably the most known cruiserweight right there, right? So a lot of people in America probably don't know Tony Bellew, right? But in America, we all know Canelo, and we all know Terence Crawford, and we all know Jose Benavidez. Or most of us don't know, but we know Jose Benavidez, and he ain't seen he fight it like that. So you should have put Canelo Alvarez. If you're gonna have Canelo Alvarez, you best assure you best let Canelo Alvarez get in the ring with you. Canelo Alvarez said, I'm going through it in English. He got mad at Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, what happened? What you talking about? You was good. Saul was good, Canelo. Michael B. Jordan, you told me that I was going to do a part. Yeah, I told you going to do the part. That was a part. Motherfucker, Michael B. Jordan. I went the whole year learning English because I was going to get the part of Creed 3. I told everybody in Mexico that I'm going to be in Creed 3. Y tú me vas a dar esa parte de que sí, 5 seconds. Oh, Canelo, nah, but you want to read the script? Que re-script and re-script. I don't have to re-script. It's self-explanatory. I'm Canelo Alvarez. I'm king. I'm rey. 5 seconds to take a picture. A selfie. You want me to be in the movie so I can take a selfie with you, motherfucker? Yo, Canelo Alvarez got invited to do Creed 3 to take a selfie. Mira esa mierda. Diablo, está quillado Canelo Alvarez. Michael B. Jordan, I learned in English 1 year. I didn't pay close attention to Demetrius Andrade. I didn't pay close attention to a Triple G, a trilogy. And I didn't pay attention to a John Ryder, El Pelagato. Because I wanted to learn the English very, very good. To be in the movie with you. And I do very, very good in the movie. I beat your ass. And then you beat me in the second fight. Like every fight like you. Like Rocky did to Clobelan. Like Rocky did to Trago. And Trago big a palo. Like Rocky did in Rocky 2. A selfie. Ay, Canelo Alvarez. Y tú le vas a dar este pelagato de Jose Benavidez. A whole part. Mira esa mierda. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward from. I better be in Creed 4. And Creed 4, you give me part, okay? Creed 4, I'm there for 2 hours, all right? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know that Canelo Alvarez is going to be facing Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, the Iron Man Charlo. Charlo, the undisputed 154, cleared his division. And yes, he cleared his division. I know a lot of people, but what about Tszyu? Tszyu came out of nowhere, right? He cleared the division. When he needed to clear, when he fought Jose, Jason Rosario, when he fought Brian Castaño, won, you know what I'm saying? Tszyu was still coming up and stuff like that. He ain't even look good in his first fight in America. Yeah, he's gotten better. But it wasn't nobody. We're not shaming no Tszyu for Jermell Charlo, and especially now Jermell Charlo got an opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez, moving up 2 weight classes. A lot of people's talking about that fight. There's some people that feel like it's a good fight. There's some people that feel like it's like Timothy Bradley feels like. I'm gonna get to Timothy Bradley too. Timothy Bradley feels like it's a mismatch. Because of the size difference, but I think there's certain critiques out there that people look like they're not paying attention to the sport of boxing. Shout out to Evander Holyfield, but Evander Holyfield, and I hear some of the people are saying, or even I think one of the podcasts, I think in the Breakfast Club, or I think that Stephen A. Smith, they're looking at Jermell Charlo like if he's younger than Canelo Alvarez. No, they're the same age. As a matter of fact, Jermell Charlo was older than Canelo Alvarez. So I don't understand why people think that he's fighting a younger fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. You know, that's what happens when you're not paying attention to the sport of boxing, and that's what happens when these boxers are doing interviews. Y'all rather pick doing interviews with people that don't know shit about y'all, that really don't care about y'all, and rather not give those exclusive to a boxing like myself, a boxing outlet, that with you doing interviews and an epic interview, we will move up. And that's one thing I really don't understand about the sport of boxing. Like, you see, there's a lot of great channels. Let me give you an example. Showbiz the adult. Shout out to Showbiz, my guy, my brother. Why won't the promoters be like, you know what? I want you to do an interview with Showbiz the adult. I want you to do an interview with Showbiz the adult. Showbiz, when he does and check out my live commentary as well, but when he does live commentary, epic numbers and stuff like that. Got great support, got a good community for his channel and stuff like that. So let's say, look at the interview that I did with Teofimo Lopez, or the interview that I did with Regis Prograis, that, you know, it hit viral within the boxing community, where when he says, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, the controversial statement about wanting to kill Josh Taylor or ESPN, they could keep the black fighters, and everybody else was talking about it, right? Every publication had to talk about it, but it came from my channel, you know what I'm saying? And it could help it as much as boxing, as much, but it brings the notoriety, or it brings the attention to also myself or the channel. Or when I had Regis Prograis, and Regis Prograis was the first one to actually talk about the mental state of Jermell Charlo, when everybody was asking why he hasn't been in the ring, right? So let's say for a channel like Showbiz, for example, or shout out to other channels that's doing their thing. But I'm giving you an example. Let's say Showbiz, and they'd be like, you know what, Canelo Alvarez, do an interview with Showbiz. And he does the interview with Showbiz, the same interview he did with Showbiz, the same interview with the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Clubs, all those guys don't know nothing about the sport of boxing. They don't know shit about this. They don't support the boxing. They don't even talk about boxers. Why don't you do with Showbiz? Because you know and I know that after that interview, Showbiz is still going to be talking about and keep it relevant. And you bring a new fan base, or they could do what they did in the Breakfast Club. I'm not gonna critique all the way the Breakfast Club, because they still brought Ak from Ak and Barack. You brought Ak, so you brought a personnel of boxing there. So the boxing community that follows Ak, the music and the culture that follows Breakfast Club, and then you combine them the two, right? How about if y'all, the Breakfast Club, y'all do that on the Ak show, and then you bring that fan base to Ak, the Zone, and stuff like that? Then it would have been different. But not the Zone, because we're in PBC. But you understand what I'm trying to say. Or maybe they couldn't do it because they was the Zone. True. But let's say if Ak was, see, that's where we come in. How about if Punch? If Showtime be like, yo, Punch, I want you to interview Canelo Alvarez, right? But also I want you to do it with the guys from the Breakfast Club. Now we all win. And at the end of the day, the next day, then the Breakfast Club, they ain't going to be talking about no boxing. They ain't going to be talking about it. But then on Punch on Boxing, we going to keep on talking about it. You do an interview with a guy like Showbiz, you're going to be, Showbiz going to keep on talking about you after the interview. And he's still going to elevate the fighters. He's still going to elevate the fans. He's still going to preserve the fight, preserve the fighters. I just don't understand why. And these fighters got to speak up, bro. Y'all know us in this community. The fighters know the YTBC, the YouTube boxing community. You know us. Come to us. Because we're the one that's keeping your name out there when you're not even fighting, when you're not even scheduled with a fight, when you're on vacation for like 3-6 months. In between those years, we keep on talking about y'all. We keep y'all name alive. So by the time y'all right back in the scene, it's like y'all never left. Y'all now adding to it. I just feel like we don't get the respect that we deserve, or the powers that be don't contact the people that work 24/7. We work 24/7. We work just as hard than the people in the sport of boxing and the promotional employees. We work just as much as Brian Custis. Shout out to Brian Custis, but we work. We work more than him, because we here 24/7. We do lives every day, videos every day, from morning to noon, even midnight. And we don't get the respect that we deserve. But anyway, Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo, I think is a good fight. A lot of people saying about the size. We already know that Canelo Alvarez started his career at 147. The only advantage when we're talking about size is that Canelo Alvarez has faced guys that is 168 and have rehydrated to the 180s, put it that way. And I don't think and we know that Jermell Charlo is not used to that. We used to him fighting maybe taller guys, and we used to him fighting and the guys rehydrating to 100 and almost to 170, or maybe 170, but he never got in the ring with somebody that's almost 190 pounds. It's like the mise en Drake for Demar Nicholson. Demar Nicholson rehydrated to 190 pounds fight night, and Demetrius Andrade only rehydrated 6 pounds. Now peep that, because he's coming from a lower division. His body is still, he could get to the 168, but how is he going to rehydrate? He might not rehydrate those 14, 15 pounds that these guys in 168 regularly going to rehydrate. So he couldn't rehydrate more than that because he already built his muscle for the 168, did a diet, and that doesn't mean his metabolism he's not coming from 190 pounds or something like that. That he's just getting rid of the water weight. Fight night comes and shoots it back right back up. So Jermell Charlo, that's been fighting in 154 his whole career, see, he's not gonna, once he taps in 168 and he's working real hard to get into the 100. He's not draining himself to 168. He's building his way to 168. But he's gonna cut to 168. But when it's time to rehydrate, he's gonna rehydrate probably to 170. The most, to be honest, 176, 175. And Canelo Alvarez, who's used to the 168 and been in 175, he's going to rehydrate to the 180s. And that's going to be the difference. That's going to be the difference. Y'all already know that Canelo Alvarez could pack a punch. Jermell Charlo could pack a punch. Canelo Alvarez got the best chin and probably one of the best chins in the history of the sport of boxing. So one thing about Canelo Alvarez that is the reason why he can move up is not only his skills and talent, which is an extreme skills and talent, one of the best, his all-time great, and his chin, he could take the hits. Pause. He could take the hits. But Jermell Charlo, I think a lot of people have not given him the credit that he deserves. I think that Jermell Charlo is one of the most underrated or probably the most underrated champions of this era. I think a lot of people don't value him the way they should. I think they devalue him. They disrespect him. Not putting him in the pound for pound list, especially on the ESPN panelists. All you guys are disrespectful to Jermell Charlo because when you telling the world as ESPN, the sports #1 network in the world, you know what I'm saying, the leading sports or whatever, y'all have y'all little slogan there. Y'all telling the whole world that being undisputed ain't nothing. That clearing out your division is nothing. That beating everybody they put in front of you, and of course they was champions as well. It's not like this guy just beat one champion and became undisputed. No, he went through guys. He had to beat Tony Harrison. He had to beat Brian Castano. He had to beat Jason Rosario. It was not easy to reach the undisputed. It was not an easy thing like Devin Haney did in the lightweight division and stuff like that. Y'all already know that George Kambosos, he had his Buster Douglas moment versus Teofimo Lopez, but we all know that he wasn't an it factor. We understand the doctors, and even myself understood that Teofimo Lopez was not supposed to be in that ring. Yeah, some of y'all gonna be like, stop it, punch that, shut the hell up. I know what it is. I know what I know. I know what I know, and I know what I've seen. It's the reason why I never gave no prediction, because I know what it was. He was not supposed to be in that ring, but his warrior spirit got him in that ring. And once you step inside that ring, no excuses. Cool. George Kambosos won. Devin Haney beat George Kambosos. He got all the belts. But still is the reason why he had to face Vasily Lomachenko. Why do you think he needed to face Vasily Lomachenko? Because in all reality, a lot of people didn't feel like he was the guy. There's a lot of people that feel like Shakur Stevenson beat Devin Haney. A lot of people feel like Gervonta Davis beat Devin Haney. So even being undisputed in the lightweight division, the way that he captured it, it's not like he beat these guys. Remember, Teofimo Lopez beat Richard Comey, a champion, a respectable champion. Then he beat Vasily Lomachenko, who was regarded at that time, pound for pound, 1, 2, 3, you could flip it around. So he got his respect there. That's why I do put him on the pound for pound list, because it's not a one hit or quitter. It was that he had to get it from Richard Comey, had to get the Richard Comey fight by fighting a mandatory and an undefeated and a top 10 rank lightweight in Nakatani, then Richard Comey, then Lomachenko. You know, it was a process of being great. So after that, of course, well, we're talking about Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo. I think that Canelo Alvarez and Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo is an intriguing matchup. If we feel that Canelo Alvarez have not looked special, you know what I'm saying, his stamina is really playing into effect. You know what I'm saying? He's still a great fighter in his last 3 outings, but his stamina is not looking up to par. You understand what I'm trying to say? His stamina versus Bivol, his stamina versus Triple G, and his stamina versus John Wright. It tells me, and then Jermell Charlo, who added Joan Guzman, the best Dominican fighter ever, and the elusiveness and the way that he's applying the type of skills and talent to Jermell Charlo, he's become a complete fighter. And it's only a few fighters at the age of Jermell Charlo that I see that has gotten better. You know what I'm saying? We seen that Manny Pacquiao he wasn't a great jabber, but in his 30s he learned how to throw a nice stiff effective jab. the mobility of Cotto. Cotto became more of a mobile fighter. You know what I'm saying? He add to his style, add to to his bag. Bud Crawford, if you would have looked at Bud Crawford back in the amateurs, I would have never noted that Bud Crawford was going to be this pound for pound fighter. I not the pound for pound number one. I know he was good, but in that class, I didn't think that he was going to be the guy though. But you see that he stays in the gym and you see that he's getting better and better. Switch, orthodoxy, does incredible things in that ring. And Jermell Charlo is one of those guys. Jermell Charlo right now is in his peak, in my opinion. He's still in his prime. Canelo Alvarez is still in his prime. Maybe you could say that both of these guys in their back end of their prime, but still in their prime. And this is why if a Jermell Charlo upsets Canelo Alvarez, in which I feel he has a great opportunity to upset Canelo Alvarez, he'll be the number one pound for pound. And probably, you already know, man, I've been respecting Jermell Charlo since day one. Jermell Charlo's been on my pound for pound list for several years. And I think it's a dangerous fight for Canelo Alvarez, for both of the fighters. I think if Canelo Alvarez does fix what needs to be fixed in terms of stamina, then we're going to see a dangerous Canelo Alvarez, because I think it's his stamina. It's not his skills and talent. Canelo Alvarez still got the skills. Yeah, I may think that Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso have plateaued together, because and that doesn't mean that it's bad, because even while they plateaued, or maybe while they declined, they're still better than everybody else. It could be, it's safe to say, or is it logical to say even with Canelo Alvarez declining, he still could be better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But he got Jermell Charlo going to put him through the test. I just feel like there was 3 fights that his stamina took an effect, and they haven't fixed that. And I said I wouldn't want Canelo Alvarez to fight Eddie Reynoso. I would like Canelo Alvarez to add something. Just like a lot of great fighters, they add, because of course they've been sometimes these fighters been dealing with the same trainer and stuff like that, so they become a predictable fighter. They're doing the same thing. They're just too comfortable going into training camp. And it seems like Canelo Alvarez's last 3 fights is fighting in the same type of style, same type of game plan. Nothing is new is added. There is not really a motivation. You can see there's not really and you saw how Canelo Alvarez ran the 168 when he became undisputed. There was some motivations behind Canelo Alvarez, boss. But these fights with Demetrius Bivol, I think if it was a deal to get that to give back to the Zone, because remember the Zone wanted that trilogy for a long time when they gave that deal, when they gave that money to Golden Boy Promotions and signed Canelo Alvarez, right? And I think he did it. He was being honorable to the Zone. It really had nothing to do with him really wanted to fight Demetrius Bivol, or really wanted to fight Triple G, or even really wanted to fight John Ryder. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez has done so much that what is his motivation? And that's going to be a question I'm going to be asking to the lead up to this fight. What is really the Canelo Alvarez motivation? Because he could retire right now and be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like I said 1,000 times, he don't need nobody. He don't need to prove nothing to nobody. He don't need to prove nothing to nobody. He's done it all, right? I don't even know what he needs going to prove to himself, because a lot of these guys, his contemporaries, really haven't even done 25% of what he's done. So even if he fights, let's say David Benavidez, right? Let's say he beats Jermell Charlo, fights David Benavidez. The fans really want to see the David Benavidez fight. How about if he beats David Benavidez? What have David Benavidez done? What is gonna put in his legacy? Is David Benavidez a champion? Is he gonna put a extra added belt? Is David Benavidez's resume that deep for us to shame a Canelo Alvarez? No, he's not. So what's really Canelo Alvarez's motivation? The payday. He's doing it because he got a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? It's the disservice that everybody else haven't done enough to give Canelo Alvarez that type of legacy fight. He don't got a legacy fight, but this is why this fight with Jermell Charlo is good, because at least Jermell Charlo carved his own legacy. At least Jermell Charlo was one of these fighters just waiting on Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? Just seeking and their whole career surrounded by getting the big bag with Canelo Alvarez. He did what he had to do. He didn't chase Canelo Alvarez. He didn't go to the 160. He didn't go to the 168. He stayed in the 154. That was his island. That was his kingdom, and he was ruling it. And then the Canelo Alvarez fight came to his lap. And now you call this fight undisputed, even though that I was the first one to say undisputed. Go check my channel, my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. I said Undisputed versus undisputed, Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, when nobody was even talking about that. Everybody was talking about the 3-fight deal he had with PBC, Canelo Alvarez, in which everybody was talking about a potential fight with Benavidez, a potential fight with Demetrius Andrade, a potential fight with Jermell Charlo's brother, which he was not ready, right? And then we got Jermell Charlo, September 30th. Canelo Alvarez is going to be an intriguing matchup. There's a lot of upsides to Charlo. Let's see if we're talking about fatigue, we're talking about stamina. Maybe Jermell Charlo is going to be putting up too much muscle, and then his muscle going to be fatigued. We don't know. Maybe it's too much of a jump. Maybe he should have tested the water. At the end of the day, we always say dare to be great. Jermell Charlo's daring to be great, just like Canelo Alvarez dare to be great when he moved up to the 160 to 175. Jermell Charlo doing the same thing. Just like Manny Pacquiao moved up and became an 8-division world champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Just like Oscar De La Hoya, 6th-division world champion. Just like Floyd Mayweather, 5th-division world champion. Just like Roy Jones Jr., 4th-division world champion. And became became heavyweight champion of the world. Only 2 men that ever done it coming from that lower division and the middleweight division. Floyd Patterson and Roy Jones Jr. That's daring to be great. And Jermell Charlo's in line with those legends. And let's see if he can overcome this, because Canelo Alvarez beating him in 168. Whew. That's pound for pound. That's a generational fighter right there. And I'm thinking that the star's going to line itself for Jermell Charlo and probably break the curse. What curse you talking about? What curse you talking about, Punch? I'm talking about the curse. Man, what you talking about, Punch? What you talking about, what curse? I thought he was going to say that. He was going... The PBC curse. What are you talking about, the PBC curse? Let me tell you about the PBC. Goddamn it, let me tell you about the PBC curse. I'm not saying that PBC haven't done a wonderful job. I'm not saying that Al Haymon hasn't done a wonderful job, but he's done an extraordinary job, and that's what I'm saying. The curse. Al Haymon, the advisors and managers of some of these guys in the PBC banner, have put guys like Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Caleb Plant, Stephen Fulton. Every time they fight the big fight, the type of big fight that's going to captivate them and captivate them into the king, into the standard, into the cash cow of boxing. Not only in the PBC banner, but in boxing. I'm talking about Keith Thurman versus Manny Pacquiao. He failed. Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. Biggest fight of his career. He failed. Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue. He failed. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. He failed. Andy Ruiz in a rematch with Anthony Joshua. Yes, he beat him in the first fight, but I don't think that they really thought that Andy Ruiz was going to beat him, because they should have gave him Luis Ortiz. But they didn't really think that Andy Ruiz was going to beat Anthony Joshua on 4 weeks notice. But then in the rematch, Andy Ruiz couldn't find himself in the gym. Maybe if they would have built a 7-Eleven or they would have built a Burger King or something like that in that gym, he would have gone to that gym and probably train and eat like you do in Planet Fitness on a Tuesday of the first of the month when they give you a free slice of pizzas. That's the only time that Andy Ruiz went to work out. But anyway, every time Al Haymon does an incredible job to give these fighters, and got to give shout out to Gervonta Davis, because at least he didn't fall into that situation with the Ryan Garcia. At least they were smart enough to do the stipulation to make sure to protect their investment. But every time, Caleb Plant losing to Canelo Alvarez. And remember, they could have fought Canelo Alvarez. They could have been the first fight in 168 when Canelo was going through his undisputed run. But they waited on that. Let Canelo Alvarez get Callum Smith. Let Canelo Alvarez get Billy Joe Saunders. Then they saved the best for last. Al Haymon has done a wonderful and extraordinary job putting his potential golden goose. Oh, let's not forget Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, he got Manny Pacquiao as well. Adrian Broner gave him Mike Garcia as well. Every time, and not even the PBC shows, but even Daniel Jacobs, they gave him Canelo Alvarez as well out there. Go get your money, go out there. Every time Al Haymon puts his fighter, his potential golden gooses, to be a golden goose, not only to the PBC banner, but to be a golden goose to the sport of boxing. Every time he put his golden goose in position to have a lucrative payday and a lucrative legacy fight that's going to propel you to become the pound for pound best, the one that leads the way, they all failed. They all failed. And that's what I mean about the curse. Jermell Charlo is the king in 154. But a lot of those guys' name wasn't, wasn't lucrative names. None of those guys really was in a pound for pound list. They didn't get the type of respect that it will give Jermell Charlo, the type of respect in which I feel he deserved. Now, 154 for me is a landmine itself. Anybody can get it. Everybody got skills and talent. It's not an easy division. It's just not a lucrative one. But now Jermell Charlo got that big break. The big break that's going to take him from a great fighter to an international star. Will he break the curse? He already got the legacy. He's a future Hall of Famer. He already got the legacy. Will he break the curse? And I feel he can do it because Jermell Charlo got a different type of mindset than the rest of the guys in that PBC banner. Keith and Tom Thurman told us leading into the Manny Pacquiao fight that he couldn't even find his killer instinct. You telling me in the biggest fight of your career you couldn't find the killer instinct, Keith and Tom Thurman? You telling me in the biggest fight of your career, the lucrative fight, Manny Pacquiao, international, everybody gonna be watching this, and you couldn't find the killer instinct? If you can't find the killer instinct versus Manny Pacquiao, you ain't never gonna find the killer instinct. Earl the True Spence, I already know he was more about money, and Bud Crawford was about legacy. You could even tell during the weigh-in or after the weigh-in. You remember when Bud Crawford said, we're going to make history. And Earl the True Spence said, and we're going to make a lot of money. Earl the True Spence been talking about money lately and stuff like that leading up to the fight. And while Bud Crawford is talking about legacy, 2-division undisputed world champion, Bud Crawford. Earl the True Spence, you already know that. He was struggling outside the ring. Right when you're about to make the bag and you're about to make all these legacy fights, and really now that's when you're effing up. And thank God that he came out of that car accident and stuff like that, all good. And God has given him another opportunity to be a great father, be a great significant other, be a great son, be a great sibling, and be a great, just a human being and overall. Give a second chance. But I don't think he was hungry. Earl the True Spence get ready to fight when he got a contract on the table. Bud Crawford get ready to fight. He's always ready. You don't need to call. You don't need to say, "Hey, Bud, we got a contract to fight this and this and such." Nah, he's already in the gym, and that's the difference. Bud Crawford was living the lifestyle of a champion. Earl Spence was just a champion. Bud Crawford lived like a champion. There's a difference. So give me one second. So, well, it's going to be a good fight, though. It's going to be a good fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo. Now, spoke about also, we want to see a potential fight with Jermell Charlo and Caleb Plant. Because we saw what Caleb Plant, the Tennessee former super middleweight champion, IBF champion, did to Jermell Charlo. Le dio un par de galletas a ese tigre, mi hermano. Una galleta that everybody heard. Le dio una galleta, mi hermano. And I don't even know how he stayed like that, man. He needed to get that smack back, just like Jermell Charlo's brother said in the Breakfast Club. Caleb Plant, Ike Turner, Jermell Charlo. He Ike Turner, Jermell, a.k.a. Tina Charlo. He hit him with the left hook smack of the century. You know what I'm saying? He gave him that Rick James smack. I'm Rick James, bitch. Bang! He gave him an Ike Rick James combination smack to Jermell Charlo. He need to get that back. We need to see that fight. As a matter of fact, if I was Showtime right now, man, I make that deal right now. Because now that it's still buzzing, you know what I'm saying? The get back, the get back smack or something like that. The slogan of the fight. They need to get that fight and run it back. And now a potential fight. The guy that opened the year, Davis Benavidez, maybe closed the year with one of the most intriguing matchups in the sport of boxing. And I believe this is a perfect fight to close the fight. The guy that opened it, we don't know if he's going to close it with a victory, though. Davis Benavidez versus Demetrius Boo Andrade. The monster versus the boogeyman. The most avoided fighter, Demetrius Andrade, the most avoided fighter of this era by champions. I ain't talking about these mandatories. I'm talking about Demetrius Andrade. When somebody else got something to lose, they not trying to get in the ring with him. Demetrius Boo Andrade is the most avoided fighter by champions in the history of the boxing. Forget about and I ain't even going to say this era. In the history of the sport of boxing. By champions. Listen to me, by champions. I don't want you to catch a titty and tell you, Punch Drunk Boxing said that he's the most avoided. But what about Sergey Derevchenko? He ain't no champion. But what about Lara? He was not a champion at that time. What about Jermell Charlo? He was not a champion at that time. What about yeah, exactly. I said, what about Janabek? He's not a champion. What about Zach Park? Not a champion. I said the most avoided fighter by any champions. When those champions got something to lose, when the investors of those champions got something to lose, they're not trying to put those fighters up against Demetrius Andrade. They wasn't trying to put no Triple G or Canelo Alvarez or even Jermell Charlo in 160 when Jermell Charlo said Demetrius Andrade we're gonna blackball him. Canelo Alvarez said, you're a horrible fighter. Get the fuck out of here. But remember, they could have fought in 160 for the undisputed world title. That if Canelo Alvarez would have fought him that time and would have beat Demetrius Andrade around that time, he could have been the first two-division undisputed world champion. Well, Canelo Alvarez team didn't act the part, but think about it. Why didn't Canelo Alvarez team right away went for the extension? They shouldn't even entertain to even try to negotiate with a Sergey Derevchenko. Right there, they should have filed an extension, and then go after the Andre fight. And Triple G never wanted a part of it. Remember, Demetrius Andrade, after the Steve Rose fight, after Triple G versus Steve Rose, Demetrius Andrade stepped inside the ring during Triple G's post-fight interview, and Triple G said, I will fight you. That could have been a great unification bout. We ain't want to see no damn Murata. Murata's an email champ. He only became a champion because Canelo Alvarez dropped his Super WBA belt. Let's not forget that as well. If we're going to say email champion, that Devin Haney's an email champion, we're going to say, so we got to say that Murata was an email champion. Why we give him so much credit? Because it's Triple G. Everybody will do anything just to enable the people that's ducking. Demetrius Andrade, it is what it is. It's the past. But now he's facing the Mexican monster. No belts, but we all know there's a very intriguing fight. Two undefeated caliber fighter, two undefeated champions in their own right, because Demetrius Andrade is a two-division world champion, Olympian, and Davis Benavidez was a former WBC champion that never lost to anybody to lose his belts. So this is an intriguing matchup. Also, these are two guys that arguably has been avoided by Canelo Alvarez. And how people like it or not, it's going once the fight is finalized, it's going to be marketed that way. We understand that Demetrius Andrade could have fought Canelo Alvarez while he was the champion, while Demetrius Andrade was the champion and the WBO champion in 154, and Canelo Alvarez was a mandatory position. And he fought Kirkland instead of Demetrius Andrade to become a champion. In 160, the undisputed. We already know that. In 168, a lot of people feel like Canelo Alvarez has avoided to fight Davis Benavidez, in which he fought John Ryder. When Davis Benavidez already became a mandatory first than John Ryder, and through the WBO, Davis Benavidez became a mandatory before that with the WBC. But he didn't pick Davis Benavidez. And now then Canelo Alvarez, once he signed with PBC, the 3-fight deal, we thought that Davis Benavidez was going to be in the mix, and he picked Jermell Charlo. So this fight, Demetrius Andrade and Davis Benavidez, is going to be seen that these are the two guys that's fighting each other. Because they have been heavily ducked by a Canelo Alvarez. That's the way that's going to be marketed that way. Whether people like it or not, that's going to be the script. That's going to be the story. Whether people like it or not, I'm just keeping it real. Let's not act like everybody was asking for the Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez in 168. There was only one fight to go. There was only one fight that the fans wanted to see. Minus the Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford, the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. Minus the Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez is the most asked fight in the sport of boxing. So, you tell me. The Golden Boy Promotions at 160 didn't sign the extension to get the undisputed for Canelo Alvarez. Maybe it's not Canelo Alvarez's fault, but we all know that it's Canelo Alvarez's team's fault. So we got to blame the Canelo Alvarez side anyway. But Canelo Alvarez fought Kovalev and became a 3-division world champion. That's why there's no reason to shame Canelo Alvarez, because he traded a legacy for another legacy fight. But that's all old news. But the new news is David Benavidez over Demetrius Andrade. I believe that Demetrius Andrade got one of the heaviest bag in the sport of boxing. And if you ask anybody, any boxer or any boxing matchmakers or any promoters about Demetrius Andrade, they will all tell you the same thing. They will say high risk, low reward, which is a lie. It's not low reward, because Canelo Alvarez would have gotten $5 million more to fight Demetrius Andrade than the $35 million that he fought Kovalev. Both the zone fighters as well. So they know that Demetrius Andrade, 6'1", southpaw, awkward, very awkward, doesn't stay in line, very mobile, very smart, defense, got every tool in the box, unpredictable, and that's what they don't want to get ready. It's hard to prepare for Demetrius Andrade. It's gonna be hard to prepare for and it's hard to prepare for a David Benavidez who throws a lot of punches in that type of size. You know, I know if David Benavidez is probably going to rehydrate to 190. He's a big boy. It was going to be an intriguing matchup with two guys that's still hungry, skillfully. You know, Demetrius Andrade, I think, got more skills than David Benavidez, but a lot of people was talking about his age, but there is no wear and tear in Demetrius Andrade. So he's a young 35 years old. There is no wear and tear. There's no war he's been in. Let me know what y'all think about that fight. So I can't wait for the fight. Can't wait for the year. It's still not even finished, but I hope they can finalize that fight. Anthony Joshua did his thing versus Robert Helenius and stuff like that. Came for 7 days notice. Knocked him out. I don't think a lot of people still believing that the old Anthony Joshua is back. Leading up to the knockout, I seen a good head movement. I see him a little bit mobile. I wanted that Anthony Joshua to be Povetkin. And we can get that Anthony Joshua back. That's gonna be dangerous. A lot of people talking about Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua as a potential fight out there in the Middle East in December. I still think Deontay Wilder will knock out Anthony Joshua, but it's remain to be seen. Hopefully they get that fight. Hopefully Tyson Fury, after his little exhibition with the UFC fighter, we could get the Alexander Usyk in December. I think it's gonna be a great 2023. I expect a big fight with Teofimo Lopez in December, Heisman night, New York City, Madison Square Garden. And I expect at least one of the heavyweights to go at it, whether it's Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder or Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury, the undisputed heavyweight title bout. Tyson Fury getting his money, can't be mad at him. Probably the Haney fights Regis Prograis. Hopefully we get back Gervonta Davis back in the ring with probably realistic. I think Gervonta Davis versus Pitbull Cruz 2, the rematch out there in the Staples Center or Vegas. I think it's gonna be a huge, and Ryan Garcia gets a big fight. I think it's gonna be a huge, and also 30 days is running out. There's a rematch clause with Bud Crawford, Errol the True Spence. Let's see what Errol Spence is going to do. I think he should get the rematch. It's too much money on the table. My source tells me that he's going to activate the rematch clause. We're going to see about that. Maybe he has a change of heart. He out there on vacation, probably thinking maybe the 154. Look, it's all about, if it's all about money, like I said in the beginning with Errol the True Spence, he's going to activate the rematch clause. So let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all already know, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast. It's Punch Run Boxing. Give it a nice rundown. We're going to try to do more of this. And hopefully y'all subscribe to the channel, donate to the channel, donate to what they have, what it says, super thanks. And you know what I'm saying? Show love to the channel, man. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.